Many dyslexics fail in their education, not because they've got particular difficulties with it as such, but they've been taught to have difficulties with it. Now, what do I mean by this? Most dyslexics process information holistically, all at once. They want to see the big picture, how things connect together. They don't want to start with the little bits and pieces, and particularly when you don't know where those go. Now, if you're a teacher and you're working with a class and you're teaching and they're all learning well, and you think, I'm a good teacher, this is working, this is great, and except for poor little Johnny over here who's not getting it. What do you do as a teacher in those circumstances? There are a number of things you can do. You could teach in a different way, a way that suits Johnny better, and I wish that happened more often. But what tends to happen is that they think, okay, everyone else is getting it, Johnny isn't, it must be too hard for Johnny, so I've got to make it easier for him. There are lots of ways in which you can make it easier, or attempt to make it easier. The way most teachers do it is they break it down into smaller and smaller bits until Johnny can regurgitate something back to the teacher. And when Johnny manages to do that, the teacher does what any good teacher does, and they say, well done Johnny, fantastic. And in that moment, Johnny has learnt something very dangerous indeed. He's learnt that he learns best by breaking things down into tiny bits until he can regurgitate them. This is a learning disaster for Johnny, because he then starts to rely on breaking things down into little bits, and the chances of him being able to reconstitute all those bits into a big picture is virtually nil. I'm not trying to argue that teachers shouldn't break things down into bits, but unless they give Johnny the big picture of where those bits fit, then they're teaching him something very dangerous indeed.